Hey guys, doing something a little bit different this week for the educational video. Actually, I'm just gonna be real. I ran out of ideas and there's no new studies that I want to talk about. So we're gonna do a Q&A, answer some of y'all's questions, drop some science, and hopefully make it a little bit fun and entertaining. First question, when tracking carbs, should you be tracking net carbs or total carbs? Okay, this comes from about 20 years ago. There was this idea that you didn't have to track carbs from, say, fiber or sugar alcohols, that sort of thing, because they had minimal impact on blood glucose. This was more for the type 2 diabetic community in terms of regulating blood sugar. So do those count calorie-wise? Yes, they absolutely do. Sugar alcohols, depending on the particular sugar alcohol, can be anywhere from 2 to 4 calories per gram. I say just track it like a normal carbohydrate, 4 calories per gram. Track it that way every time. You never have to worry about it. Then dietary fiber. Dietary fiber is kind of similar. You can have some fibers that have virtually no calories because they're not really digestible. And then you can have other dietary fibers that can have pretty much the full calorie amount, around 3 to 4 calories per gram. Even though dietary fiber, like soluble fiber, isn't absorbed like a carbohydrate, it can travel to the large bowel where it can be fermented by the gut bacteria in the microbiome and produce short-chain fatty acids. Those can be reabsorbed through the portal vein of the liver, and you still get a lot of the calories from that fiber. Now, those short-chain fatty acids and that fiber seem to be great for your gut microbiome health, as well as the short-chain fatty acids may have some other health benefits. But it does have calories. Track your fiber, track your sugar alcohols. Don't mess with net carbs, count your total carbs. Our next question is actually about Ramadan. I get this question a lot every year. So it's a month when Muslims fast from dawn until sunset, then they're allowed to eat until the next day. So basically during the dark hours, they can eat, but when it's light out, they cannot eat. This time of year, we've typically got, at least where I live in Florida, we've got about 13, 14 hours of sunlight. So you're left with about 10 to 11 hours of darkness. Now, a lot of us spend about 8 hours of that eating. So how could you make this work best possible during the month of Ramadan? Well, my first recommendation would be if you can train during the evenings, you're probably going to be a little bit better off, because there is some research showing that if you can train after eating versus fasted, that your performance is better and your strength is better. So what I would recommend optimally, or best case scenario, as soon as the sun goes down, have a meal, train, then try to get to sleep, and then have another meal before the sun goes up. 3 meals, that's gonna be pretty good, gonna put you in a decent spot. If you're somebody who wakes up in the middle of the night, just kind of default, I do that because I always have to go to the bathroom. You could have like a protein shake or a protein bar ready, something like that, where you wake up, slam it real quick, go to the bathroom, and then go back to bed. I've done that before. I'm not saying you have to do that, but that could be another way to sneak some protein in during Ramadan. I got another question from a stupid person. Their question is, who's your good-looking young coach with an Asian last name? Yes, that is our coach, Noah Lee. Strong name drop, bro. Way to get in the video. On a more serious note, is there any difference between using creatine before or after training or any other part of the day? I get this a lot. When should I take my creatine? Well, we have to look at the mechanism behind how creatine works. Creatine works by saturating your cellular levels of phosphocreatine. This seems to occur no matter when you take it. It is a cumulative effect. Creatine does not appear to have a short-term acute effect. Therefore, it's more about getting the total cell saturated with creatine. Thus, you can take it whenever you like. Some people choose to take it before a workout. Some people choose to take it after a workout. It doesn't seem to matter. Take it when you can remember to take it and be consistent. What is the optimal body fat range for the most strength and muscle gains in males? I'll answer those questions separately because they are separate. When it comes to strength athletes, the lighter weight classes, you tend to need to be quite lean in order to be competitive. As you progress into the heavier weight classes, probably 100 kilos and up, your body fat levels have less of an impact. Now, it doesn't make sense to just gain a bunch of body fat for no reason. But some people, especially the heavyweights and super heavyweights, having a little bit more body fat seems to aid them in terms of their leverages and how they execute the lifts. So I'm not going to say put on a bunch of fat for no reason, but with strength athletics, If you're a shorter person or you're not above 100 kilos, again, I'm just using an arbitrary measure, you're probably going to want to be relatively lean to get the most strength per your body weight. If you're talking about hypertrophy, that is very individual. What I will say is you're not going to want to be too far under your body fat set point. Your body fat set point being the level of body fat that your body kind of natively gravitates towards. Most of us have a level of body fat that our bodies kind of sit at, and in order to get lower than that, we really have to be kind of really purposeful, and to get above that, we've kind of got to be pretty purposeful in terms of either eating like crap or trying to run a bulk. What I will say is, if you get below your body fat set point, your ability to grow muscle seems to diminish. As you're below that set point, your body senses a deficit and is more likely to use the protein you eat towards oxidation and fuel mobilization than building tissue. I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm just saying it's going to be a little bit more difficult if you're below your body fat set point. That doesn't mean you have to gain a bunch of unnecessary body fat, but I would say that you probably need to be near your body fat set point level in order to optimize your hypertrophy gains. All right, guys, thanks for your questions. Really appreciate you guys throwing them up in there. If you guys like this, maybe we'll do it a little more often, maybe not. If you really like it, we do have a Q&A that's much more in depth that goes on biolayne.com as part of our membership to the Biolayne website, including the workout builder, where you can get customized training programs for about the price of a cup of coffee each week. Links are in the description. Check it out. Hope you guys are staying healthy, happy, and we'll catch you next week.